Okay, just digest these numbers from 2000. Take a look at that. I'll add some more to it. His scoring average, 67.79, nearly 1.5 shots better than second best Phil Mickelson. And think about this. If you win 3 majors, typically that's a benchmark to make the World Golf Hall of Fame. He did that in 1 year. And gosh, I mean, if he was playing at this level in 2024, that official money, just over $9 million, how much money would he have made? He made plenty. He made plenty. And Brandel, and you saw it a lot in 2000. What was so impressive and powerful about Tiger Woods in 2000?
Well, look, I think the essence of Tiger Woods, at least to me, for all of his career, but most notably in 2000, is that he just overturned all expectation. Our imaginations, no matter how wild they ran, could never keep up with his talent. You know, even to this day, we're almost 25 years on, what he did in 2000 refuses categorization. You know, I dismiss with all the effort I can muster simply calling him one of the greatest players of all time, or calling what he did in 2000 one of the greatest years of all time. He had no precursors. What he did in 2000 had no precursors, with all due respect to what Bobby Jones did in 1930 and Ben Hogan did in 1953. He won by 15 the U.S. Open. He won by 8 at the Open Championship. And in that period from 2000 to 2001, he won all the majors, he won the Players, and he won the Canadian Open. Nobody has ever come close to animating this game with as much energy and with much brilliance, as Tiger Woods. Nobody's come close.
Yeah, and the following year, the Tiger Slam was complete with him winning the Masters. And you're right. I mean, he urbanized golf. He was maybe at that point, maybe besides the President of the United States, maybe the most recognizable person on the planet. He did so much to elevate the game of golf. All right, so look, we've talked about the past. I do want to get a present or future question with you in regards to Tiger Woods. I'm not asking if you think he'll win again, but do you think he could possibly put himself in competition on Sunday to be in the mix?
You know, it just remains to be seen. I mean, all of us who've followed this game, and you're trying to remain as impartial as you can, you would never say never with him. You know, maybe he feels good one week. Maybe he, you know, the fates line up and it's 80 degrees and it's not particularly windy, it's not particularly tough, and the course is flat. Maybe they line up. Maybe everything does. But, you know, I mean, it's a little bit, you know, asking too much. How many comebacks has he given us already? I mean, 2008 U.S. Open was a comeback worthy of a major motion picture. You know, what he did in 2012 and 2013 was an unbelievable comeback. Even more unbelievable than that, because they get more unbelievable as you go along, what he did in 2018 and then 19.
Correct.
So, like, how many comebacks do we want from him? I mean, we keep asking him. Look, I mean, he's a remarkable man and good at doing the unimaginable, but at 49 years of age is how old he'll be the next time we see him. You know, since he's come back from that most recent accident, he's averaged about 74 and change in every round of golf he's played. So it's hard to play when your body just simply won't let you do what your mind and your talent are capable of doing.
Yeah, I agree. It's not probable, but he has made things improbable possible.
But you know, look, I think we're a little bit remiss when we start trying to guess what he's going to do.
Sure.
I think we should just all sit back, because, you know, I don't know if it was Lee Trevino or it was Jack Nicklaus, but it's been said a number of times that nobody's given everybody everything. Even though Jack Nicklaus famously struggled, although I never really saw him struggling with his short game that much. You know, Lee Trevino didn't hit it straight up in the air, and maybe Ben Hogan later in his career didn't putt. But Tiger Woods was the amalgamation of the highest level of every single aspect, not just of golf, but of sport, all rolled into one athlete. So, you know, when people ask that question, as they inevitably will, who is the greatest player of all time? I'm like, well, look, Jack Nicklaus had the greatest career ever. That's 18 majors. 19 runners-up. That's the greatest career ever, but the greatest golfer ever, the greatest golf that has ever been played, and it's not even close, is Tiger Woods from 98 to 2002.
Yeah, we hope to see him compete some in 2025. He was non-committal as to when he will return. We could see him this year, the PNC Championship, which he has played over the last few years alongside his young son, Charlie. He has not said he's not playing the PNC Championship, so who knows? But yeah, 2000, what a beautiful golden year for Tiger Woods.